Good morning, students. Today we discuss the reflection and transmission of electromagnetic wave in a dielectric boundary. So, last class we studied the Maxwell's equations in matter, then electromagnetic waves in dielectric medium, linear dielectric medium, then boundary conditions. Based on that topic, today we discuss the reflection and transmission of electromagnetic wave in a dielectric boundary. Then we will calculate the reflection coefficient and transmission coefficient. So reflection, the wave can incident normally on the surface, or it can be incident by making an angle theta with normal. First we consider normal incidence. So reflection and transmission transmission at normal normal incidence, reflection and transmission at normal incidence. Consider a dielectric boundary. Consider a boundary separating two media. Let us consider a boundary. So this is z direction, z axis, and this boundary is in xy plane. So this x axis and this one is y direction. This boundary is separating two dielectric media. This one is z direction, this direction is x direction, and this direction is y direction. First medium, this is first medium, first dielectric medium. This one is on the right side, z less than 0, z less than 0, first dielectric medium, z greater than 0, second dielectric medium, and this one is interface. So this is interface separating the two media. So this is the interface separating two media. Left side, consider the incident wave. Let us take the incident wave. The wave vectors associated with the incident wave. This is direction of propagation, and the electric polarization I am taking along the x direction. So this is electric polarization, and the magnetic field I am taking along y direction. So this is the direction of magnetic field. So this one is direction of propagation of wave. So velocity v1 is along the positive z direction. This one is direction of electric field vector of incident wave. I am representing it as EI, electric field vector of incident wave. So this represents incident wave. The wave is incident from left to right on this dielectric media. So this is magnetic field intensity Bi. This one is electric field intensity is along x direction, magnetic field is along y direction, and the wave is traveling along the z direction. So this one is incident wave. Then the wave will be, some part of wave will be reflected back. So the reflected wave, its velocity will be, reflected wave I am drawing using another color. So this is reflected wave. The reflected wave is propagating in the negative z direction. Its electric field is along the positive x direction. If electric field is along positive x direction, this is the case with the reflected wave. This one is the velocity of reflected wave. Since it is traveling through the same medium, its velocity magnitude will be v1. As medium remains the same, the velocity of wave will be the same, because this medium, first medium is having permittivity epsilon on. First medium is having permittivity epsilon on. First medium is having permittivity epsilon on, permeability mu1, then velocity v1, wave vector k1. So the second medium is having permittivity epsilon 2, permeability mu2, velocity v2, wave vector k2. So this wave, electric field is along, if electric field is along x direction and propagation is along this direction, then the magnetic field will be along k cross e. K is vector k for the reflected wave is along this direction. So k cross e, when you take k cross e, it will be pointing along the negative y direction. So the magnetic field at this point for the reflected wave will be along the negative y direction. So this represents the direction of magnetic field of reflected wave. So this one is reflected wave. The reflected wave is traveling along the negative z direction. So this represents the reflected wave. So some part of wave is reflected and some part of wave will be transmitted. Now consider the transmitted wave. The transmitted wave is propagating along positive z direction. So this is the wave vector of transmitted wave. Then its electric field will be along the positive y direction. So k cross e, that will be along positive. Electric field is along positive x direction and magnetic field is along positive y direction. So this represents direction of propagation. Its velocity is v2. K2 is also along the same direction. Here it is electric field of transmitted wave and here it is magnetic field of transmitted wave. So this wave represents the transmitted wave. So if a wave is incident on a medium, some part of wave will be reflected and some part of wave will be transmitted. Left side of left side of this interface, this represents the interface. Left side of the interface, the medium is 1 and right side of the interface, the medium is 2. So the wave equations of incident, reflected and transmitted wave can be written as, we are assuming, let us consider the interface is along the xy plane. The interface, suppose the xy plane forms the boundary between two linear media. Let us assume a plane wave of frequency of angular frequency omega, let us assume a plane wave of angular frequency omega traveling along z direction and polarized which direction the polarization is given by the direction of vibration of electric field vector. The electric field vector is the electric field vector of incident wave is along the x direction, so it is polarized in the x direction. Electric field is along x direction, that's why its polarization is along the x direction. Approaches the interface from left to right, from left medium 1 to right medium 2. So it is passing from left to right. The electric and magnetic field vectors associated with the incident wave. The electric and magnetic field associated with electric and magnetic fields associated with the incident wave, incident plane wave. It is plane wave, propagation is along z direction. So the incident plane wave, electric field vector associated with the incident plane wave EI ZT is equal to, what is EI ZT? Its amplitude I am taking it as E0I e raised to I. Incident wave vector is k1. K1 is at minus omega t. Its direction is along x axis. So I am giving x cap for x direction, unit vector along x direction. The magnetic field can be written as BIZT is equal to B0I e raised to I k1z minus omega t. It is along y direction. This B0I, we can write B0I is E0I electric amplitude by speed of electromagnetic wave in that medium. It is V1. So E0I by V1. So we can write the magnetic field as BIZT equal to E0I by V1 e raised to I k1z minus omega t y cap. So this I am giving equation number 1a, and this equation I am giving equation 1b. So equation 1 gives the electric and magnetic field vectors associated with the incident wave. For our convenience, we will replace the amplitude of magnetic field vector with the amplitude of electric field vector. They are related by the equation B0 equal to E0 by velocity. Here velocity is V1. So B0I equal to E0I by V1. In a similar way, the reflected wave, the field vectors associated with the reflected wave can be written as ER is T. Reflected wave, the electric field vector associated with the reflected wave. What is this? E0R e raised to I. For reflected wave, the wave vector is minus k1. It is traveling opposite to the incident wave. So we can write it as minus k1z minus omega t. The field vector which is along x direction. Now what is BR? BRZT reflected wave. BRZT, instead of B0R, I will be writing E0R by V1, but the direction of velocity is opposite to that of incident wave. So I will be writing minus E0R by V1. Incident velocity is towards positive Z direction, and the reflected wave is having a velocity along negative Z direction. So the velocity is minus 1 by amplitude of magnetic field vector. We can write it as minus E0R by V1 e raised to I minus K1Z minus omega t y cap. So this is equation number 2. This one is equation number 2. So the magnetic electric field vector is along x direction, and the magnetic field vector, when we consider this negative sign, minus y cap, it is along minus y cap. See this figure, the magnetic field vector, here the magnetic field vector is along positive y direction, here the magnetic field vector is along negative y direction, or you can take it as k cross e by omega. Magnetic field is given by k cross e by omega. When you take k cross e, k is along negative is a direction, so k cross e will be along the negative y direction. This magnetic field, if you want, you can take the magnetic field as, we can write the magnetic field as B as BR, or B, generally B equal to, what is B? B, we can write it as B equal to K cross E by omega. So the direction of B should be along the direction of K cross E. You can find the direction in that way also. Now we write the electric and magnetic field vectors associated with the transmitted wave. The field vectors associated with transmitted wave can be written as the field vectors associated with the transmitted wave. We can write it as ET is T is equal to E0T e raised to I. What is wave vector for transmitted wave? It is transmitting through the second medium, so the wave vector is k2. So it is k2 is Z minus omega t. It is along x direction. Now what is B transmitted is T? B transmitted is E0 t by V2. Velocity in second medium is V2, so it is E0 t by V2. Its propagation is along the positive z direction, so here it is positive. E0 t by V2, then e raised to I k2 is z minus omega t. This direction is y cap. This equation I am taking it as equation number 3. So this one is equation 2 and this one is equation 3. So the wave vectors on left side should join with the wave vectors on right side based on the boundary conditions. What are the boundary conditions? The wave vectors, the combined wave vectors on left side is at less than 0, which will be joining with the combined wave vectors on the right hand side at z equal to 0 based on the boundary condition. At z equal to 0, z is equal to 0 represents the boundary. The combined fields, fields on the left hand side, we are having both incident wave and reflected wave. So the combined field on the left will be EI plus E incident plus E reflected. E incident plus E reflected. This is the combined electric field on left side, and B incident plus B reflected is combined magnetic field on left side. That must join with what? Join with the fields on the right. What are the fields on right? Transmitted electric field vector Et and transmitted magnetic field vector Bt in accordance with the following boundary conditions. Boundary conditions. We have already discussed the boundary conditions. What are the boundary conditions? Here the medium is linear and there is no free charge or free current in the interface. So a linear medium with no free charge or free current at the interface. If we are having a linear medium with no free charge, no free current at the interface, then for a dielectric boundary, the boundary condition is, what are the boundary conditions? Epsilon on E1 perpendicular equal to epsilon to E2 perpendicular. This is equation number 4. Epsilon on E1 perpendicular equal to epsilon to E2 perpendicular. Then the second boundary condition is B1 perpendicular equal to B2 perpendicular. B1 perpendicular equal to B2 perpendicular. Equation number 5. Now the third boundary condition is E1 parallel equal to E2 parallel. Equation number 6. Now the last boundary condition is B1 parallel by mu1 is equal to B2 parallel by mu2. So equation 7. So the field vectors on left side, E1 is EI plus ER, E2 is ET, B1 is BI plus BR, first medium the combined wave BI plus BR, B2 is BT. So the left hand side the field vectors should join with the right hand side based on this boundary condition. So applying the first boundary condition, when we apply the first boundary condition, epsilon on E1 perpendicular, so this is epsilon on E1 perpendicular is E incident plus E reflected, its perpendicular component, the component perpendicular to the surface, perpendicular at Z equal to 0, perpendicular component at Z equal to 0, that should match with epsilon to what is E2? E2 is E transmitted. So perpendicular component E transmitted, perpendicular component at the boundary is Z equal to 0. So substitute these values here. The field vectors, in this case the electric field vector, this electric field vector EI, ER and ET, all these are parallel to the interface. So in this case no component of electric and magnetic field vectors are, no component of electric and field vectors are perpendicular to the interface. What is interface? Interface is xy plane. So this electric field vector is parallel to xy plane. This magnetic field vector is also parallel to interface. Interface is xy plane. So electric field is along x direction, magnetic field is along y direction. Here also magnetic field is negative y, electric field is positive x direction. Here also the electric field positive x, magnetic field positive y. So no component of field is along, no component of field is along perpendicular direction. So we need not consider, so don't we don't need to write this equation because no component, we need not consider the boundary conditions first and second. That equations are equations 4 and 5. These 4 and 5 represent the components perpendicular to the interface, so we need not consider the boundary conditions 4 and 5. Now taking the boundary condition, the third boundary condition, taking the boundary condition equation 6. What is equation 6? Equation 6 is E1 parallel equal to E2 parallel. So E1 parallel equal to E2 parallel. What is E1 parallel? EI plus EI plus ER, parallel component at Z equal to 0 equal to E transmitted, its parallel component at Z equal to 0. Here the incident vectors are parallel, so we need not write the parallel component. All the incident vectors parallel to the interface. So we need to write what is EI. EI is E0I e raised to I kz minus omega t, z equal to 0, so that term will be 0. So this will be e raised to minus I omega t plus what is er E0 r e raised to minus k1z minus omega t, but z equal to 0. So this will be minus I omega t equal to E0 t e raised to I k to z, z equal to 0. So this is minus I omega t. I omega t will get cancelled. So we will be having E0 I plus E0 r equal to E0 t. Question number 8. Question number 8. So this is equation 8. Now taking the boundary condition 7, taking the fourth boundary condition 7 is B1 parallel by mu1 equal to B2 parallel by mu2 at the boundary at Z equal to 0. So what is B1 parallel? 1 by mu1 into B1 parallel is B incident plus B reflected at this parallel component at Z equal to 0. Here all the vectors are parallel, all the field vectors are parallel, so need not write the parallel. You just substitute the value of incident and reflected wave vectors is equal to 1 by mu2 into B transmitted, its parallel component at Z equal to 0. So this will be 1 by mu1 into at Z is equal to 0 Bi. What is incident wave vector? E0 I by V1. E0 I by V1 e raised to I k is I k1 is z 0. So this is e raised to minus I omega t. So all the terms e raised to minus I omega t is there. So that will get cancelled. I need not write this e raised to minus I omega t. That will be present in the all the terms, and it will cancel each other. So here e raised to minus I omega t will go. Then br will be minus E0 r by V1. Then e raised to minus k1 z is 0, then minus I omega t, that will cancel, is equal to 1 by mu2 into bt. Bt is E0 t by V2. E0 t by V2 e raised to minus I omega t, that will get cancelled. So we can write E0 I minus E0 R. I am taking V1 common, then mu1 V1, that mu1 V1 is taken to right hand side. So this is mu1 V1 by mu2 V2 E0 t. This mu1 V1 by mu2 V2, let us substitute that as beta. So E0 I minus E0 R is equal to beta E0 t. This equation number, what is number? Next number, equation number 9. This is equation number 9, where beta equal to, what is beta? Mu1 V1 by mu2 V2. Beta equal to mu1 V1 by mu2 V2. Beta is mu1 V1 by mu2 V2. For most of the media, mu is more or less same. So mu1, I can take mu1 approximately equal to mu2. So if mu1 approximately equal to mu2, then this equation we can write it as, before that, velocity of wave is c by n. So v1 equal to c by n1. So v2 equal to c by n2. So v1 by v2, I can write it as n2 by n1. So this equation I can write it as mu1 n2 by mu2 n1. Mu1 n2 by mu2 n1. If mu1 approximately equal to mu2, if mu1 approximately equal to mu2, then this equation is approximately equal to n2 by n1. So we can write beta approximately equal to v1 by v2, which is approximately equal to n2 by n1. So this equation, I will take this as equation number 10. So I got two equations, equations 8 and 9. From that we can calculate the amplitude of reflected wave and transmitted wave in terms of amplitude of incident wave. Now I take the difference of equations 8 and 9. 8 minus 9 gives equation 8 minus equation 9 gives. So we will be having, first I take the sum of these two equations, 8 plus 9. So here E0I plus E0R, and here it is E0I minus E0R. So when I take the sum, E0R will get cancelled. E0I plus E0I, that will be 2E0I. 2E0I equal to, right hand side we are having E0T plus beta E0T, or I can take 1 plus beta into E0T. 1 plus beta E0T. From that we can calculate E0T, amplitude of transmitted wave as 2 by 1 plus beta. So this is 2 by 1 plus beta into E0I. This I can take equation number. Next equation number is equation number 11. So this equation I am taking it as equation number 11. So E0T equal to transmitted wave amplitude is 2 by 1 plus beta E0I. Now we will calculate the amplitude of reflected wave in terms of amplitude of incident wave. For that I am taking, this is 8 plus 9, not minus 9, 8 plus. Now I take equation 8 minus equation 9. If I subtract the left hand side of 9 from left hand side of 8, then we will be having 2 E0R. E0I will get cancelled. So 2 E0R equal to 1 minus beta into E0 E0T. 1 minus beta into E0T. or E0 R equal to 1 minus beta by 2 into E0 t. What is E0 t? E0 t is 2 by 1 plus beta E0 I. This is 2 by 1 plus beta E0 I. So on simplifying that, E0 R, the amplitude of reflected wave, I can write it as amplitude of reflected wave as 1 minus beta by 1 plus beta, 1 minus beta by 1 plus beta into E0 I. So this is equation number, this one is equation number, this is equation number 11, and this one is equation number 12. These amplitudes I can represent in terms of velocity of wave. So E0 I, E0 t, transmitted wave amplitude is, here substitute, instead of beta you substitute beta equal to beta. What is beta? Beta equal to V1 by V2. Beta equal to V1 by V2 or N2 by N1. If I substitute V1 by V2 for beta, this is 2 by 1 plus V1 by V2. On simplifying that, 2 V2 by V1 plus V2. So this will be 2 V2 by V1 plus V2 into E0 I. Or in terms of refractive index N, it is N2 by N1. So this is 1 plus N2 by N1. So it is N2 plus N1 or N1 plus N2. This N1 will come in numerator. So this will be 2 N1 by N1 plus N2 into E0 I. So this is equation number 13. Equation 13. In a similar way, equation 12 can be written as, this is 1 minus V2 by V1. Beta is, sorry, V1 by V2. So this is 1 minus V1 by V2. This is V2 minus V1 by V2. This is V2 plus V1 by V2. V2 will get cancelled. So we will be having E0 R equal to 1 minus V1 by V2. So this is V2 minus V1 by V2 plus V1 into E0 I. E0 I is equal to N1 minus N2 by N1 plus N2 into E0 I. So this I can represent in terms of this one. Question number 14. If the wave is incident from rarer medium into denser medium, if the first medium is rarer and the second medium is denser, then in the denser medium N2 is greater than N1 if the wave is incident from rarer medium to denser medium. Rarer medium to denser medium, that means N2 greater than N1, N2 greater than N1 or V2 less than V1, then the incident, the reflected electric field and incident electric field are out of phase. Then the reflected electric field will be 180 degree out of phase with incident wave. Then it will be 180 degree out of phase with incident. Now the reflection is happening if the wave is incident from, if the electromagnetic wave is incident from denser medium to rarer medium, then n1 greater than n2 or v1 less than v2. If n1 greater than n2, then this term will be positive. That means E0 R and E0 I are in phase. Therefore, the reflected field, electric field will be in phase with incident field. So the phase can be same or different depending upon, there can be zero phase difference or 180-degree phase difference between the incident wave and reflected wave, depending upon the density of medium, depending upon the optical density of medium or the velocity of wave in that medium. Now consider the transmitted wave. Transmitted wave 2v2 by v1 plus v2. That means the transmitted wave is always in phase with the incident wave. So the transmitted wave will be always in phase with the transmitted wave, transmitted electric field will be always in phase with the incident wave. So the real amplitudes, we can write the real amplitudes of reflected and transmitted wave as E0 R. Reflected, its real amplitude we can take it as modulus V1 minus V2 by V1 plus V2 or V2 minus V1. We have written there V2 minus V1 model. So both the way we can represent V2 minus V1 by V2 plus V1 into E0I, the real amplitude. The transmitted wave E0T, we can write it as 2V2 by V2 plus V1 into E0I. So in terms of velocities, we can write in terms of refractive index, refractive indices of medium, we can write it as E0 R equal to real amplitude is n1 minus n2 by n1 plus n2 into E0 I, and E0 T is equal to 2 n1 by n1 plus n2 into E0 I. These are the expressions for real amplitudes of reflected and transmitted wave in terms of amplitude of incident wave. Now we will find the intensity of wave. What fraction of incident intensity is reflected and what fraction of incident intensity is transmitted? That fraction is represented by the reflection coefficient and transmission coefficient. First we will find the intensity of waves. The average energy per unit area, the average energy per unit time per unit area, the average energy per unit area per unit time transmitted by the incident wave, that we can take it as intensity of incident wave. Here the pointing vector is along z direction, vector s is along, propagation is along z direction. So you simply take the expectation of s as the intensity. Actually intensity is average energy per unit area per unit time transmitted normally through the surface. Actually this is per unit area per unit time transmitted, this is transmitted transmitted normally through the surface, normally through the surface. So this is incident or transmitted normally through the average energy per unit area per unit time, which is incident or reflected or transmitted normally through the, it should be normally through the surface. Here the pointing vector is along the z direction and z direction is normal to the surface, so we can take I equal to s expectation of s. If it is not normal, if propagation is not normal to the surface, what will happen? If propagation is not normal to the surface, then intensity will be the component of energy transmitted per unit area per unit time along the direction of, along the z direction, along the normal direction. Normal direction is z cap. So the intensity is, if it is not incident normally, then the intensity will be s dot z. S dot z represents the component of component of energy transmitted per unit area per unit time along the direction perpendicular to the interface. What is S? Vector S represents the energy per unit area per unit time transmitted along the direction of propagation of wave. For example, if this is the interface and the wave is incident like this, so along this direction, the energy propagation is S, but the intensity is always normal to the surface. When you calculate the intensity of incident wave, you should take the component of this energy transmitted normal to the surface. That's why we are taking S dot. But in this case, in our situation, we need not consider this one. In our situation, the direction of incidence and the normal to the surface are along the same direction. It is normal to the surface is z direction and the wave is also incident along the z direction. So simply take the expectation s as intensity. So in this case we can take the intensity of wave as I equal to, what is s expectation s, we have calculated earlier, I equal to half v epsilon E0 square. This E0 is, this is general expression for intensity. When I take the intensity of incident wave, I will be taking E0I. Intensity of transmitted wave, I will be taking E0T. Intensity of reflected wave, I will be taking E0 reflected wave E0R. So we can write the intensities as intensity of reflected wave IR equal to intensity of incident wave, II equal to half first medium V1 epsilon on E0 I square. Intensity of reflected wave half first medium V1 epsilon on E0 reflected E0 R square. Now intensity of transmitted wave IT half second medium, so V2 epsilon to E0 T square. Now we will find the reflection coefficient and transmission coefficient. Reflection coefficient is defined as the fraction of intensity of light reflected to the intensity of light incident. So it is the ratio of intensity of light transmitted, sorry, reflected, it is reflection coefficient, intensity of light reflected to fraction of intensity of light reflected to intensity of light. Intensity of light means electromagnetic wave. Intensity of light incident. So reflection coefficient R equal to, I will represent it by capital R. Capital R equal to intensity of reflected light by intensity of incident light. So I R by II, this V1 epsilon will get cancelled, half V1 epsilon will cancel. So we will be having E0 R square by E0 I square. What is E0 R by E0 I? E0 R by E0 I is N1 minus N2, N1 minus N2 by N1 plus N2. So it's square. So square of this one. So this will represent the reflection coefficient N1 minus N2 the whole square by N1 plus N2 whole square. Now we will find the transmission coefficient. The transmission coefficient is defined as the ratio of intensity of transmitted wave to the intensity of incident wave. What is transmitted wave intensity? Half V2 epsilon to E0 T square by half V1 epsilon on E0 I square. So this will be V2 epsilon 2 by V2 epsilon 2 by V1 epsilon on E0 T square by E0 I square. This V2 epsilon 2 by V1 epsilon on V2 epsilon 2 by V1 epsilon on V2 epsilon 2 by V1 epsilon on V2 by V1 we can write in terms of refractive index as N1 by N2. N1 by N2 into epsilon 2 by epsilon 1. We have already seen that N is approximately equal to root of epsilon. So N square equal to approximately equal to epsilon. So N1 square epsilon 1 equal to N1 square, epsilon 2 equal to N2 square. So this we can write it as N1 by N2 into N2 square by N1 square. So this N2 will get cancelled, N1 will get cancelled. So we'll be having N2 by N1. So here this is N2 by N1 into what is E0 T by E0 I the whole square. E0 T by E0 I is 2 N1 by N1 plus N2 the whole square. So it is 4 N1 square, 4 N1 square by N1 plus N2 the whole square. This N1 square and N1 will get cancelled. So we will be having 4 N1 N2 by N1 plus N2 the whole square. So this is transmission coefficient. Transmission coefficient. So this one reflection coefficient equation number is 14 and this equation 15, this equation 16, and here I will represent this equation, this one 17, and this equation I will write this as equation number 18. So when light is incident on an interface, some part of light will be reflected and some part of light will be transmitted. That means the total energy should be conserved and the reflection coefficient plus transmission coefficient that will be equal to 1. Add these to R plus T. What is R? Reflection coefficient is N1 minus N2. N1 minus N2 the whole square by N1 plus N2 the whole square plus this one T is 4 N1 N2 by N1 plus N2 the whole square. So this will be N1 plus N2 the whole square Numerator will be having n1 square plus n2 square minus 2 n1 n2 plus 4 n1 n2. This will be plus 2 n1 n2. So this will be n1 plus n2 the whole square by n1 plus n2 the whole square equal to 1. So the total energy remains conserved. The reflection coefficient plus transmission coefficient, that will be equal to 1. So the total energy is conserved. So this all about the reflection and transmission of electromagnetic wave at normal incidence. Next class we will discuss the reflection and transmission at oblique incidence. Thank you.